thickness, because we didn't have any heel, we could use the 1-inch thick pads, which is our soulmate pad, or we could use our thinner therapeutic pad, which is what I'm going to use on him. This is a 6-pound density, and that relates to the size of the horse. If you have a heavy horse, you would use a 6-pound. If you have a really light horse, you would probably go to a 4-pound. This guy is heavy enough that I can get away with a 6-pound. So I'm going to use the 6-pound, and I'm going to get an impression for the back half of the foot. Handsome. Good boy. So I have an impression, and what I want to get is the caudal aspect of that foot. So I'm going to use a knife to cut this pad out first of all. And if I wanted to be conservative, I could stand him on half the pad. But for this video, because we want to get it done here, we're just super aggressive mastic to hold this in place. And I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna look underneath on the horse. Easy, buddy. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to let it come off right about there. Back away. Now, so I'm going to use a torch here. You can use a heat gun, anything for a heat source. I'm going to get a little better impression on it. Perfect. All right, so I'm taking what we call our super aggressive mastic, and this was developed for actually holding on hook boots, some horses that I worked on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a small piece to go on that pad. Okay, so it's going to go across the frog and across the heel. All right, so I'm just going to put that right where my impression is. And then I'm going to peel it. Like I said, it's very aggressive. You have to be careful with it. There we go. Okay. You got our little boy here. Come on, handsome. You're a good boy. Take that pad, place it in position. Stand him on it one more time. So now that I've got it on the foot, what I can actually do is I can trim this pad, because it's going to be underneath our perfect hoof wear. So by coming in here and trimming it, I want to fit it actually somewhat inside the hoof hole. Okay, so that's where I want it, because the hoof wear is going to take up this space. Put an angle on it. Okay, and I can come in with my rasp and clean it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to contour this pad. And I do that by heating my knife with a torch and come in with a hot knife. Using my knife, in there like that. All right, so I'm going to use perfect hoof wear, our poly wrap, on that foot, and it's going to give us some structure and some stability. Okay, so this is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, and I'm going to place it forward of the angle of the bar right here, and I'm going parallel to the hook wall, and I'm bringing it in until it will accept my wrap. Pretty simple. Okay, and I'll do the same on the other side. Apply that perfect hook wear over the anchors, over that insert, and as it starts to set, I want to make sure we have some traction on this concrete, and I also want to give a little bit more life to wear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called a DE hoof tap. They come packaged 24 or 100 to a pack, and directions are in here. But when you put it on is very important, so I'm going to show you when we apply it. And we're just going to use a regular driving hammer, and we're going to apply it to the wrap at that perfect time when it hasn't quite set up yet. Okay? Be prepared. That's the most important thing, is have everything you need right at your fingertips. Now what I've got here is I've got our bucket of water, I've got our poly wrap, I've got our impression pad, which is extremely important. You have to have that impression pad. Okay, that's how we're going to get a good impression around that insert. All right, I have a driving hammer, and I have my DE taps, which I have on a magnet on my apron here. Okay, so I've got everything I need to get this done. All right, so let's get to it. You can see that it hasn't moved. Really nice. In position, just to open it. Okay, now how you put this on is important. What I do is I usually take 2 squeezes to get it started, activate it. Now I start so it rolls this way. Don't make the mistake of rolling the opposite way. And I just want to cover my insert, get it over that anchor. So I got it right over the anchor, around. I'm going to try to go over that anchor a second time. I did. Second time over this anchor. And now I'm going to start kind of moving up and down the hoof. I want to cover my insert. And I only want, I'm going to go with 7 layers here. So that's 3, 4. All right. This is a smaller foot, so I'm actually not even going to use the whole wrap in doing this. Go up a little bit on this one. Across my wrap. Go down with that one. Across. Up a little bit. And that's about it. I don't want too many more wraps on this horse. So this last wrap, I'm going to take all the way up to cover my wraps. And I'm just going to take my knife and just cut my wrap. Now I'm going to take a little bit of water and put it on this. And what I do here, this is important. Okay, a little bit of water. I'm pulling down that wrap, just like I want to pull it off the hoof. Okay, pull it down. Pull it down. Even in the heels. Okay, I can get material where I need it. Get it down in there. Pull it down. Pinch it. Pinch it. Kind of roll it into position. Okay, so I'm covering everything up. Now it hasn't quite set up for the tabs yet. When it does start to set up, we'll get it down off the heels, way down off the heels here. Okay, we don't want it on the heels at all. When it does start to set up, water, it'll start to get firm and tacky. There we go. You see it start to get tacky, so I can push it down, start to mold it. It's just getting to the point now where I'm gonna be ready to put my taps in. And when it gets to this point, just past this point actually, I can take my gloves off because the resin's gonna be, it's not gonna be sticky. Okay, so now, take my gloves off and I won't get a lot of resin on my hands. And now I'm ready to take my tap. I'm gonna grab a tap here. There we go. So I'm gonna put a tap in this heel. It's pretty much only going into the wrap and into that impression pad. Stand up, buddy. There. Take a second one, put it. Last one's in the toe. And then I'm going to put them on the curing pad. I can cut that out. It's good to sprinkle a little water on it. And I've got a good impression. And that nice roll, see that nice round roll? I'm sure you can see it on the video. So now we're in balance. We've got good support through the frog and the collateral grooves. And we've got good distortion. Okay, so that's one nice thing about this is you get movement.